Hey guys, welcome back to OceanGemTarot. I'm back with another message for you guys. Today we're going to bust out the situations deck. We're going to do 3 different situations and look into what we can do to help us during these situations. All right, our notification just went off, so I'll wait a couple seconds for people to come in the room. And we will see what's going on. All right. Hey, how are you, Miss Jamie? I'm trying to get my phone to work appropriately. That way I can see better because I have like the whole glare and the light. I'm blinded by the light. Oh, you're cleaning? That's what I'm going to do when I finish doing this stuff. I have to get the upstairs and everything situated because, boys will be boys. And their clean is not my clean. So, yeah, we're going to tackle that. All right, let me get this going. And now we are ready to roll. Let's see. Oh, that's right, Jamie. Right. Especially, I have one that's the teenager and then the other 2. And I think my youngest is the messiest of them all. He'll be like, "It's clean, Mom." No, it's not. It's still scary. My nose ring is itching my nose. All right, so we're going to get into this. Let's see. What's the situation? What's the situation for the collective? All right. We have sideways, lockdown. It says mental prison, confined. And then we have divine masculine. And we also have pretending. And pretending says fake, living beyond your means. But I feel like, because this one kind of felt like in the reverse, so we're going to take it in the reverse. So yeah. And on the bottom we had receipts, proof, show me. I feel like people are coming out of their own mental prisons here, especially like getting away from fake people. This could be a masculine that's getting away from somebody that's like really into, like, I just heard the word gold digger type thing, like somebody that just wants them for the money. And it also could be a feminine and the masculine. I mean, take it how the roles reverse, like a masculine that would always be kind of like in your checkbook. But I feel like somebody's like no longer like they notice the signs, because now people like you're wanting proof within a situation. You're not just going by what people tell you, going by what people show you. Let's see. We have triumph. And then we have movement, choices, and decisions sideways. And that one's going under the divine masculine card. And then we have new beginnings that are sideways. So I feel like somebody is being triumphant over this, right? Somebody that might have been confused or trapped in their head, not knowing, should I leave this situation? Should I not leave this situation? There might be kids involved. Like they're moving forward and picking out, okay, well, what's the best option here, right? Like you've gone through this transformation. So now people that come into your energy, you're like, okay, well, you're going to have to not just tell me, you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to kind of like prove yourself in a way. So I feel like you guys are like, if you're in this type of situation, maybe you were in a situation where you were with somebody that was fake, right? And that's what brought on this transformation. And that's why like you're able to start this new beginning, because you're like leaving that behind. It's like, I'm not going to let you put me in like financial turmoil here. we have the 10 of Wands sideways. I feel like somebody's being triumphant and ready, like being ready to release these burdens that might be around them. I feel like the burdens might be guilt of some instance, like guilt that you were in the situation, or guilt that maybe you have other people that you had put in this situation. But the thing is, the situation is there because it's learning, right? But there is rapid movement. Like somebody's really taking action towards making the right choices here and the right decisions for them and their future. I heard the right decisions for their loved ones all the way around. We have Temperance sideways. I feel like somebody felt like, maybe this made them unbalanced, maybe made their financial situation unbalanced, but now they're coming out of it because they're tired of pretending they're something they're not. They're tired of spending and living beyond their means in order to keep other people in their lives and stay connected with other people, and ready to walk that middle path with, okay, well, I understand the lesson in this. And okay, well, sometimes I can't always go out. Sometimes, it's just not feasible for me. So I'm going to choose to stay home. And then other times, like, hey, it might be financially okay for, go out and have fun, but just doing it in a balanced way versus an excess. And that's where this new opportunity is coming in, right? Somebody is releasing their burdens and realizing all that they've accomplished, and they're ready to take on just a new adventure in life. Like they're being very triumphant. They're forgiving themselves and forgiving themselves for the situation that they might have gone through, and realizing that, hey, this is what I learned out of this situation. And I wouldn't have learned this from this, if I hadn't have gone through it. You're moving quickly away from people that are sneaky, like deceptive type people in your lives. You're no longer willing to put up with those people that want to feed you. This is the Knight of Cups in reverse, like feed you a fantasy. You're starting your new beginning, and walking that and realizing, okay, this is what I learned. Like you're finding the meaning and going into this new beginning, right? From the things that you learned from the past. You created that. Transformation was created for you to be there. So you're rapidly moving forward to make those correct decisions, right? And being able to recognize those people that are deceptive. So that's kind of why you guys were in this. But also I feel like the big lesson here and what is still kind of in the midst of being is forgiveness. But it's forgiveness for like, okay, well, this wasn't a good situation. Not for them, not for, you. It's kind of like we weren't just meant to be, and there might have been a lot of hard lessons there. But it also has expanded you into the person that you are. And so you're looking ahead, at all these new avenues and these new adventures and this new life that's coming in towards you, right? And maybe somebody else coming in towards you. I mean, who knows? But it's just forgiving that person from whatever they did, because that is for you, but also forgiving yourself for, whatever guilt that you might have from going through that, because sometimes you can forgive others and you might forgive them and you might feel like you've moved on for it, but yet there's still things that you do, kind of like past traumas that you've gotten out of it, that you're still working on not holding on to yourself with it, like not having those burdens on you, like you're releasing those so you're able to move forward in a healthy way. And that takes time, right? I feel that somebody, as we also have this card, somebody might have been just like really, not only because you have the 7 of Swords and then you have the 5 of Swords, like deceptive and sneaky, kind of like a I can't have you, no one can, win at all costs type mess. And it was just really, really toxic. And so I feel that there's still things that you're learning to, forgive yourself for. And that does take time. But once you realize that, like, hey, it's not my fault it didn't work out. And also realize your faults in the situation, because not everybody's perfect. Even if it doesn't work out, we all have our faults within the relationship, right? But it's just not keeping yourself trapped in that, forgiving yourself, and that way you can move on and not bring it into your future, right? Because your future is bright here. I feel like you're, getting rid of this possessiveness, and then also just building the security within yourself, right? And maybe that was a lesson here, because maybe I mean, there's one situation that it didn't work out because the person was really over controlling and possessive. And that also has to deal with things that were in their past. So now they're afraid of losing somebody. So they're really smothering instead of being like confident within themselves and the person that they're with. So, I mean, that's another thing that people have to learn to deal with, especially like if you are in different relationships and then like it might go awry, but then the next one, like you might be like you're happy to be there, but then you're too clingy because the person's a really good person. So it's like finding that even balance as you go on in the future here. And I feel that that's what you guys are doing. Like you're learning that, you're forgiving yourself, and you're also like looking forward to this new future with somebody that's not like verbally abusive or mentally restraining, and do things like kind of like a tit for tat type of thing is what I'm seeing. But now that you notice those signs, but also it's kind of like you're not holding yourself there. You're not holding yourself in the past. You're learning to forgive yourself. And that's what's bringing you on to this new beginning here. And that's what's going to make you guys, while you're moving ahead, because this came out sideways as well. It's the Two of Wands. It's like you're planning. You're making plans to move. You're making plans to move forward. Somebody might be strategically getting out of a toxic relationship, but doing it strategically in order like not to have really bad repercussions, you know what I mean? And somebody might be kind of scared of change, but they want to be secure in their own, but yet they're scared. They're scared to leave home. But I do see somebody leaving home and starting on a whole new beginning here because they're tired of, putting on a face for everybody else, but then behind closed doors, it's very just nasty and toxic. So congratulations to who is going through this, because the truth is going to come here. I feel like it's going to be at equal balance. Justice is going to come in, like this fairness is going to come in, and like it's going to be okay. But you have to, forgive yourselves and take those steps to get out of that situation. And if you already have, I feel like you guys are taking those steps to transform. And I feel like people are going to recognize this. They're going to recognize what you've been through. They're going to recognize the change that's going on within you, right? I feel like some people might be kind of emotionally withdrawn. Like they might want something or want a new relationship, but yet you're emotionally withdrawn because of the things that you've been through. But yet you can learn from the things that you've been through without having to stay in the past. It's that equal balance, right? And I feel like you guys are going to be triumphant in that, and you are being triumphant in it. And you're putting those past burdens down behind you, right? And you're carrying on with these new accomplishments and the accomplishments that you've done. And now you're going on to like better prosperity from the things that you've learned from it. And also like looking ahead and expanding and growth, right? And this is something that you guys had to go within and do. All right. So that's what I have for the first situation. Yes, ma'am, Jamie, standing strong. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So now we're going to get these shuffled up, and we're going to go on to the next situation for the collective. But everybody has their own past that they lead, but you can't constantly put yourself down or, live your life in regret. Or if I would have just noticed this, then I never would have had to go through this. No, you would have just went through it with a different person, because the thing is, you needed that lesson to grow into the person that you're meant to become. That way it's like you're being polished for who you're supposed to be with, right? Or, even if it's learning lessons within a job and take people around your job, and somebody might have you like spending more money within a job than what you need to be spending, or on things that you don't need to be spending it on. And then just kind of like learning those lessons is a transformation. Like, okay, well, now I know I won't do that again, but you still have to forgive yourself to be able to fully move on, because we all make mistakes. You can't, crucify yourself because you made a mistake. It's just you learn the lessons, but then you also have to do the work of honestly forgiving yourself. Yes, ma'am, Jamie. Self-worth. I appreciate you being here. All right, now let's get these mixed up. move on to the next situation. My phone is going off like crazy. All right, situation number 2. I wish I could see that, but I'm like, oh, have fun. Thank you, Jamie. All right, what do we have for the collective? What's the next situation? We have trash sideways. I'll show you guys. And that is discarding and throwing out the trash. That just flew and hit me in the face. Hamster wheel came out sideways, surviving the daily hustle. And then we have unconditional, genuine, certain, and love. And on the bottom, we have projected, future days, weeks, and months. All right. We have the collective. Sorry. There it goes. Patience sideways, spiritual strength, and then there's a lot of choices, movement, choices, and decisions. And on the bottom, material harvest. But like somebody is no longer willing to be on the like surviving the daily hustles. Like I don't want to survive, I want to live, you know? We have Page of Cups. And then we have difficult choices with the Two of Swords. I feel like you guys are cutting that off. You have the Knight of Swords. And then you have the Devil. There's the Four of Cups reversed. Ace of Coins. The Emperor. Ten of Wands. Three of Wands. And then the Strength. And on the bottom is the Chariot. I feel like you guys are, being patient within a situation. But I also feel that there's, like, you guys have some hopes and dreams that you want, but you also want something that's more along the playful side here. I feel like there's something that you're cutting off, but you're being strong, like you're being supported by spirit, right? Because it's spiritual strength. And I also feel that you guys are more protective within yourselves. I feel that you guys are no longer being impulsive here, right? Or you might be being impulsive about the decisions that you're making. Just be careful not to. I feel like you guys are taking actions, but you're also tired of like having to defend yourself day in and day out against somebody. I feel like it's tired, and that's why you're like, because it's going right towards the Two of Swords. Like you're going, like you're cutting that mess off. You're done with it. You're tired of it, right? I feel like you guys are choosing to be like, you're being playful again. You're choosing to be happy and just kind of like a new awareness of what this is in your life, right? Like those toxic things that don't serve you. You're being patient. You're growing within like yourself here. But I feel as well as it's kind of like you're no longer like looking for material things to make you happy. You're accepting kind of like where you are in life, and that's good. And that's what's bringing in these new opportunities, right? It's because it's like you're moving on from like a kind of like a toxic environment, right? You want something that's more structured. Like you have a lot of ambition. You want to be able to stand on your own and in your authority, and like people listen when you speak, like they value you. And I feel like this is in like a work environment. Like you want a job that you genuinely love to do. But I do feel like that opportunity is coming in because it's like you're accomplishing a lot and you're taking on more responsibilities, and you're getting these more responsibilities because you're making the appropriate decisions, right? And you know what you will and you won't stand for. I just heard integrity. Integrity could be a big, huge thing to you. And then maybe possibly where you were working before, they might have said one thing, but then they're doing another. Like they weren't big on integrity of their work and integrity of the people that they hire. And that could be something that you really is very important. Like me, I know that's very important to me. It's like integrity. People, I want to work with people that have great integrity, right? I want to have open lines of communication. And if you mess up, hey, you mess up. It is what it is. We're all human. We learn, but don't do the finger pointing stuff because that gets nothing accomplished here. And I feel like you guys are moving on very quickly to like a very successful future. You're looking ahead. Somebody might be expanding a business, expanding within themselves, and really kind of rapidly growing and moving forward because they're standing in their strength, right? They're going towards like their convictions and being strong in them and what is really important to you. And that's what's going to make you successful here is that self-control and discipline and having that structure, right? So it's kind of like you're taking out the trash. You're discarding and getting out all the things that weren't working, right? And this could be even if you own your own business. You're like, okay, well, that didn't work. So let me remove this. And how can I make this better? How can I make this more firm, right? So, and that could be like the whole, like you got a lot of moving pieces to the puzzle here that you're trying to figure out into place. But this is something that you truly love and you're going towards it. Like it's something like, something genuine. You don't want to do something that you don't have a passion for. And once you go towards your passions, like you're choosing happiness, you're choosing to accept, what doesn't work, you're cutting it off, and you're taking action to stand and get everything more structured, to get everything, I just heard the finer things in life. And so that's like more responsibilities, but maybe you're like, okay, well, this is going to take more. This is more steps, but it's going to make it more firm, right? It's going to make it better. It's going to be a better way to do things because this way didn't work out. So now we're going to go around to a new way here. And that new way that you're working and you're figuring out, because it's like you're not giving up. You're moving on towards the future and just being strong. And what is important to you here is the integrity of it all, is what I heard. The integrity of the company, the integrity of the business. And that's what's going to be successful here. Do you have anything else? All right, so I'm going to look through here real quick. I feel like you guys have found a new sense of wisdom and you're following your intuition here, especially with the material harvest. It's like, okay, well, this is what I've learned, and I know that this isn't going to work, so we're going to kick that out. But you're tired of being just like, not like you're running in circles. You know what I mean? You don't just want to be surviving. It's like you want to live. And so in order to live, you have to do what you love, and you have to like find something that's with those values that you hold dear to you. Because if it's not within your values, then it's kind of like you're not going to be happy there. So you're following your intuition here. And that's whenever your passion is going to be ignited. So it's like, okay, I like this. Like we got like the fire under your butt. You're ready to go. You like going to work. You're ready to change some things up. It might take a little bit longer because you had to maneuver some things differently, right? But it's something that you're growing, that you're truly, genuinely going to love here. Because it's kind of like you're not sitting here being all defeated because you're like, oh, crap. Like everybody has their moment. Like, crap, that didn't work. Now what do I do? Right? Like it kind of makes you feel discouraged, but you're not sitting in that. You're lighting the fire under your butt. You're like, all right, well, let's take out the trash here. Let's bring in some new stuff here. And let's go about it and get it with a better structure because this makes me happy. I accept this didn't work. I accept, things need to change. So where am I going to change it in order to make me happy? And you're looking on ahead and expanding that idea and just being courageous and going for it, right? Because it's like with that patience and planning, prosperity is going to begin. You just have to be patient. And sometimes it's like patience is a virtue. You're like, I'm tired of being patient. I'm ready for it to go now. But things take time to grow, right? Even if you're looking for a new job, it's like, I'm ready to move. But the thing is, you've taken that step and you're moving forward to find something better that would better suit you and be a better environment for you, that would make you happy. That way you don't go home and you're like, I hate that place. Or you don't wake up like, I hate that place. Like you enjoy going where it is that you want to be because the people around you. And it may be like a hard job or whatever, and you have a lot of learning to do, but it's like the people that you work with make it that much better because the establishment holds to a higher sense of integrity that like it fits what you're looking for and you fit kind of what they're looking for. So it's like an equal exchange of energy here. I feel like you're also making wise decisions in the matter, and that's what's going to make you triumphant. It's that mental awareness, and it's going to build a strong foundation, not only for you, but also for the business as well. And why did that happen? Because you took out the trash you needed to. Made some adjustments here and there because you want to do what you love and love what you do, right? Yeah, I dig it. Hey, Davey. Hey, Tony. How are you guys? You're still at work? Aw, love you too, Tony. Oh, you're welcome, Davey. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate you guys being here. So now we're going to shuffle up the deck and get to situation number 3. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It's gorgeous outside. It's going to be like 76 today. I'm going to end up going outside after I finish cleaning the upstairs. So yeah, so we're doing today. I'm so confused. You're being tortured? Explain. Or maybe I just need to read up further. Oh, patience makes you feel like it's torture? Right? It's because you're a Gemini, David. We're patient, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I understand that things take time to grow and to get to where they need to be. But at the same time, you're like, can I just wiggle my nose? Maybe Matilda and just make it grow faster. I dig it. What was that? Was it Bewitched where she's like, doo-doo-doo-doo, and it was like, poof. Oh, that's so funny. A busy Monday. Oh, that's wonderful. Busy is good. It makes the time go by faster. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. What time are you out of work, Miss Davy? Soon? You go pick up the kiddos? Okay, now let's get this mixed up. To find out what we have for situation number 3. You're short dating? Just walk faster. So you walk beside like a really tall person, it's like you're having to jog because you have long strides. You're like, slow down. They're like, I am walking slow. Take shorter steps. All right, let's see what we have for situation number 3. We have racing, running or avoiding. And then you have journaling, sideways, writing diary, and keeping notes. Then we have 2 that came out. You have bounty hunter, chasing, and hot pursuit. And you have alien, telepathic dream songs. And on the bottom is drastic, extreme, harsh, and cut off. What do we have for the collective for this situation? That just flung out. We have third eye chakra. Material harvest sideways. Then we have the heart chakra in reverse as well. And on the bottom, destiny. And new beginnings and mental conflict. What are you guys getting into? I feel like there's something you're avoiding, right? And maybe it could be emotions. Maybe you guys need to start for this situation, maybe writing things down. That way you can decipher your feelings or just kind of get stuff out, especially if you don't really like to confide in others. Just writing it down can give you that clarity. I feel like there's something that you're chasing and that you want. And I feel like that is also like maybe you're needing more money or trying to figure out a money situation, but I also feel like you've been having dreams and these dreams are confusing to you. But I also feel like you guys need to, for this situation, clear your chakras because it's like you're wanting, you have this pull and you're trying to manifest, but yet you're not facing the situation from your past to clear out those blockages in order to be able to manifest, especially if it's material harvest. It's kind of like overcoming like lack mentality, especially if you're trying to like manifest like money and changes in that area. I feel like you've been having dreams that are being given to you, and those dreams are giving you ideas, not necessarily ideas, but showing you the path, but you may be confused about those dreams. But I feel like it's something that you're like on hot pursuit, like you're going for. This is what you want, but yet you're not quite sure how to get there. All right, let's dig into this. But it's kind of like you want your dream of your life, like it's your destiny, but at the same time, you are just confused about the steps of how to get there or where it's going. And maybe it's like you want ultimate happiness, 4 cups in reverse. It's like you want happiness and that's what you're trying to manifest. But at the same time, you're avoiding the things that you need to do in order to get there. Like the self-reflection, like the shadow work side of things. And then you have the Queen of Wands on top of the 7 of Cups. It's like you're searching for a purpose here, right? But you're determined to find out what it is. You want to do something that you're passionate about. But at the same time, it's like you're daydreaming about this stuff and you got a lot of choices to make and you're searching for your purpose, but yet you don't know which way to go, like your direction. And we have the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, that's like confirmation. It's like you've lost your direction, but you need to follow your heart. Then maybe instead of following your heart, you're following what other people say is what I'm seeing. Like, oh, well, don't do that because that's not going to put you in any better of a situation that you're in. You're just going to be right in the same spot. Don't do that, you know? But it's kind of like that's where you felt drawn to do, or maybe it's a career path that you feel drawn to do, but if people are talking negatively about it, if you feel drawn to do something, do it. I feel like you need to lean into that, what makes your heart happy. And because especially if you're choosing, like you want to be happy here, excuse myself. Excuse me. It's like, you know, don't entrap yourself, especially if you want something that's going to bring on new connections. Be courageous, especially whenever you're going towards like you're wanting to gain more material harvest. You have to get out there, but yet you might be scared to talk to people, right? You may not be a very like you might be an introvert, not an extrovert, but now there's like all these choices in order to get where you want, where you're going to have to like step into that courageous side, right? Especially when you're growing something new and being fertile. Stand firm in yourself, because that's how you're going to meet those new partnerships and those connections. You can't meet new partnerships and connections if you never speak to anybody because you're scared. And then you have the Emperor standing within your power. Don't avoid it, right? Sometimes you have to like just be strong and go for those ambitions that you want. And just because other people don't see it or they have something to say, you know, who cares? Because they could be blocking you and like kind of clogging your aura. Sometimes you need to get those people out of your life. If you feel that there's something that you're destined to go towards, you know, don't let someone kind of like break your heart and cause you grief over situations. And sometimes you just have to block people out, but also you still have to be able to speak to other people as well. You can't stay trapped within yourself and your 4 walls and expect to be able to get out there and to achieve the things that you want, right? I feel like you guys are making plans and there's a lot of decisions that you're doing, but there's also this fear of change because it came out sideways. This is the 2 of Wands. It's like sometimes you can't always play it safe. And then like sometimes by playing it safe, you might have yourself in a situation that you don't necessarily like what it is that you do, but you know it's a good income. I feel like you guys are going through a big transition right now and figuring that out and leaving these things behind that don't suit you, right? And moving on towards the future. It's like you're like, okay, well, it's time for me to go. You know, I'm gonna have to put on my big boy boxers or my big girl panties and and move on. And this is what kind of like you're following your intuition. It came in sideways, right? But it's kind of like you're just blocked right now. There's something blocking you guys that you need to clear out. I feel like you just need to clear out those blockages, clear out your chakras, right? Write things down, and that could help you get this like this clarity that you need, because it'll help you sort through it all and what it is that makes you truly happy and where you're going, like what it is that you ultimately want and the steps to get there. Because it also kind of like you write it down. Some people feel like they're held accountable whenever they write it down, and it helps them figure it out and kind of restructure everything, right? Like you're like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want. This is where I'm going. But then you can get it structured out on the things that, you know, your steps that you need to take. And that's what's going to end up helping you to be like a great provider and provide this abundance. Maybe you want a new house, right? And you're like, okay, well, I know in order to get this house, instead of being stressed out because you're like, well, I can't get it. Well, write it down. All right, I need 3 good lines of credit that shows that I'm paying on it for this amount of time. Boom. So you go out and you get that. So you start working on that. So that way you're accomplishing the things, because you might have great credit but not have enough credit lines in order to be approved for the house. So I mean, it's like taking those steps, and once you write it down, and instead of it causing you like there's so much to do, oh my God, and being overwhelmed, it helps you like, okay, well, check, that's checked off. Now what do I need to do next, right? So that way you're not avoiding it, you're not running from it, and that way it's not kind of like stopping you on your path. You're taking on those responsibilities versus running from them on the things that you need to do and checking them off. And then you feel like you're like, all right, you have like more of a passion. You're more like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. You're more excited for it, which in return, because you feel like you see yourself taking the steps, and there's one less thing you have to do. And then there's another less thing you have to do. So you're slowly accomplishing the thing that you want, right? And so that in return, it puts you in a higher vibration, which makes it easier to manifest because you don't have so much on you, because you're slowly knocking it off. And it doesn't, like, you don't have your subconscious trained with that doubt that could be in there. It's like releasing that, which is helps clear those blockages. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yeah, I dig it. So it's kind of like doing your shadow work, like looking at what it is that we need to do, and then maybe writing it down, writing your dreams down, deciphering what they mean. Because a lot of times, you know, your dreams don't mean necessarily what you think they do. Look it up. If it's some kind of weird dream, you're like, why did I dream about that? You know what I mean? If it's something strange, then, you know, look up the different meanings in a dream journal or something like that, and just write all this stuff down, and it'll help you have more of a clear mind of what is going on. And that's what's going to bring in this more like financially stable situation that you're going for here, right? Especially if you're feeling lost and confused in your direction and where you want to go, write things down, and it'll help release that confusion. You know, meditate, release those blockages, kind of give yourself a sense of a quiet space to where you can just like breathe and release all of that and bring in higher vibrations. That's your vibrational beats, right? Because then like you're able to follow that intuition, and then the unclear becomes clear, right? Just keep having faith, because the wheel's spinning in your favor, and I dig it because it's guided. You just got to, you know, kind of sort it out. Not everything is easy, right? But, you know, sometimes the confusion, we make it more confusing than what it is. But then taking a simple extra step will help us clear out all that stuff that we might be avoiding that we need to actually be taking on. And that way it'll help us sort it out. I dig it. Yeah. So those are 3 situations. And that's what's, you know, drastically cutting these things off. You know, it's what's going to bring in all the new that's coming into you. It's kind of like, all right, I know that I'm doing this. And then the first step to fixing it is realizing you're doing it, right? So once you realize it, then you're able to correct it or take the steps to correct it. But, you know, we got to take that initiative to do so. And then that'll clear out all the others, just adding a little bit more structure, getting out there and speaking to people. That way you can create those partnerships and meet those people, make new connections that you need that are positive connections within your life. Maybe you need to get some people out of your life, those negative connections that, you know, they're really not growing you in any way. It's really not doing anything for you, right? I mean, if it's constantly like negative and keeping you in the past, or the wrong mental state, then sometimes you have to clear that out, right? And it's nothing against them. It's just sometimes we have to for our own, like our own well-being and being able to be clear in our heads versus it putting other thoughts within our head that may not be our own and have us focusing on the wrong things when we're trying to focus on our destiny and going towards our life path and what's going to make you happy. But I see you making those changes. So it's really good. I dig it. So those are our 3 situations with our ways to, overcome these situations and what we need to look like, do our little introspection. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you guys being here. And I'm probably going to come on in another few minutes and do another live, another collective read. And we're just going to have fun today. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Davey. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jamie, for being here. I love you guys. I appreciate you. So until next time, my beautiful Ocean Gems, you guys stay blessed, stay epic, stay awesome, and I will see you soon. Namaste.